Back at it again. It's the Photo Culture Podcast. We got a special guest with us today, Octavia Yearwood. How are you doing today? I said it correctly, right?
Yeah, I see you questioning yourself. You're supposed to be practicing that in front of the mirror, like Octavia Yearwood, Octavia Yearwood, Octavia. Yes, that's right.
Got it right. See,
you got it
all
right.
that practicing work.
How are you today?
I'm great. No complaints.
Thanks for coming too, man. I know you come from Miami.
Indeed. Coming all the way down from the Dade.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about. So you're from New York. We established that already. Mm-hmm. So what made you go from New York and it was ATL, right? ATL and then Miami.
Correct. How you knew that?
That's homework.
All right. Yeah. I did Atlanta for a quick little stint, but it just wasn't for me culturally, or energetically. But I came here because I just literally I was here for a little bit for a friend's birthday, and I was like, I just fell in love. I stayed in Little Havana, and I fell in love, and I was like, this is a move. And then after Atlanta for 2 months, I packed up what I could fit in my car and came down to Miami.
Oh, so you just came with a car full of stuff. That's it.
And $150.
Oh, wow.
And that $150 went into the gas to get me here. Like, that's how much it cost in gas to get to Florida from Miami at the time.
So, like, people have perception of Miami. Was the perception reality when you got here?
I had only one perception of Florida, period. I didn't have a Miami perception because it was my first time coming. And my only perception of Florida was that it was like rural. I thought it was rural because I was in like Daytona and Orlando.
Oh yeah, you can get that.
Yeah, the first time that I visited. So I was like, I'll never live in Florida ever. At least I thought.
Yeah. And
then I came here and I saw arts and culture, and also my family is Panamanian. My biological family is Panamanian, so also that Latinx culture being here too is also like a big selling point for me.
Which is almost the same in New York, right? For a lot of the cities and
What's the same?
Well, like the cultural, you get Africans, you get Haitians, but Spanish.
But that wasn't what it was. That wasn't what it was for me. It feels Miami's very different from New York. Period, so yeah, so like there's literally nothing that I could like make them be similar, like ways for them to be similar, you know?
The only thing similar is the Bronx and Florida, they say have the craziest people in the world.
Depends on if you like crazy or not. Or what kind of crazy you
and then,
like.
Like North Florida and South Florida is like two different there's two different really states, honestly. Like North Florida, if you go there, you'll have a certain perception, but with South Florida, you come down here, just like not even close.
Yeah.
So like when you was in Daytona, don't even.
Yeah. So I got here, but it was the weather. It was just the energy. Like there's something, you can't. For me, when I say the energy, it just felt good. It felt really good to be here. I had one job. I had two jobs. I had one job that I moved here to interview for. Like I hadn't even had the job yet when I came down to interview with them. And that was like an after school program that was paying me like $600 a month. And then I would work at Einstein Bagels like at 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. In the back because I didn't want to see people. And I would go from Einstein from 6 to 12, and then I would go teach at the school from 3 to 5, and that was my routine my first 4 months here. I was living in my car. Yeah.
So were you a people person? Like, you wasn't a people person, I'm assuming, because you said you didn't want to be in the front.
No, I didn't want to be in the front of Einstein Bagels because I have a memorable face.
Oh.
And I didn't want people to like, all of my life, my work has been like dealing in customer service. And when I was in New York, I was working at a bar. I was working at a bar. Like, so it's not like it was not like it was like above me. It was just that I was in this new state and I wanted to start new. And I wanted, if people were going to see me, I wanted them to see me doing what I actually love doing.
Okay. Makes sense.
And what represents me.
All right. And how was it growing as a foster child? Like,
I feel like the question feels weird to me, right? Like, how does it feel growing up as a foster child? That's a very loaded question. I would need something more
more direct.
More direct, way more, because I mean, like, it's not that much different than how it would feel growing up as, you know, a child in a drug abusing home, or a child that's being abused in different ways, or a child that, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, so I feel like I would probably be wondering what are some very more specific questions in relation to foster care that is like of interest.
Okay. Did you always wonder like who was your real parents? Like,
I knew my mother was. Or is. She's still alive. My father, ironically enough, I did have one moment when I was younger where I was like, Grandma, who's my dad? And she, it's kind of funny but not funny at the same time. She was like, I was like, what's my dad's name? She was like, Jimmy Smith. And then it was like this actor on this Law and Order.
Oh, you thought that was your dad for real?
I mean, we don't look alike, but I was like, Jimmy Smith. Oh, that person's name is Jimmy Smith.
Like, and you wanted to make sense so bad that in your mind it probably...
I didn't. I just was like, this Spanish dude's name is Jimmy Smith and my dad's name is Jimmy. Like, okay. And after that, I just really didn't have any interest. I think now, in retrospect, I realized as a young person, that was just like a curiosity. It wasn't a burning desire. I feel like some people do have burning desires when it comes to that. And I also feel like that some people, their spirit knows that they were supposed to come in without those people having direct connection in their life so that they could do their life's work. Mm-hmm. And I think that was my case.
So do you feel like your life work? Do you feel responsibility to people going through how you grew up?
As a human being, I feel responsibility to do what I can for humanity to help. I feel like as a person who has been through certain things that I know for a fact other people have gone through, I think it's my responsibility to create tools and or types of programmings or things that I could do to help them not have to go through what I went through.
So pass information, pretty much.
Pass information, pay it forward, knowledge, provide tools. Yeah, like I definitely feel like that's important.
All right,
because I needed that. If I had that, I always say I would be further than where I am.
I think that's for everybody though, because
for sure.
Before I even bring that up, let me go back to the foster thing. Were you one set of family, or were you just moving to different family? Because when I was growing up, I had a neighbor and they did foster kids and everything, and I was actually pretty close with them. Like, I knew them, but then they went to a different home, and I haven't seen them ever since.
Right.
I'm like,
how'd that feel for you?
I got over time, but to me that was close.
Obviously, it impacted you, right?
Yeah. I seen them, I think when I was in high school, and they were playing basketball, but it was so different. It was a different energy, like, because I haven't seen him in a while, and I grown, he changed, I changed. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I haven't seen him ever since. Yeah, but sometimes it pops in my head because, childhood memories. You're like, that was fun back in the days.
That's interesting. So were you like curious every time they had new kids coming into the house?
No, I only had a relationship with them.
Well, just that one?
Yeah,
okay.
Just those two, the brother and sister.
Okay.
Yeah, wow. Other than that, I didn't really interact with anybody else. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's normal habit, right? If you're in foster care, generally to move from place to place. Yeah. They say that they want to find you a forever home, if you will. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times, the older you get, the harder that is possible. And then, not to mention all the trauma, blah 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 blah. There's just like mad shit that's attached to it, right? That can actually like keep the kid from finding a home. When I first got in, I was a pain in the ass. One of my foster parents told me that one time I came in their crib and I was like looking around and I went to the bathroom and I was like, y'all don't got Listerine? I was with my high water pants, you know what I'm saying?
Looking at you like, who's this girl?
Right. Walking in there looking like a scoundrel talking about y'all don't got, but my oral hygiene is very important to me. So, yeah. So yeah, the move around was big, but the ironic part was that when I turned 16 and I went back into the system after being in one home for several years, I then now was moving from different homes at my own order.
Okay.
If I wasn't really rocking with it, if like one day I came into one of the foster homes I was at, And the girl who was in the room who was wearing my panties, I was like,
Nah, I gotta go.
yo, gotta roll. Miguelina, I need you to give me a new
It's
spot.
not gonna work out.
It's not working.
That's funny.
She got my underwear and I'm about to pop off. Yeah.
Because my girl is actually a social worker, so I mean, I hear,
God bless her soul.
I hear about the situations. And,
Your girl's a social worker?
yeah.
Listen, wait. Before you tell me, I already know everything you're going to tell me, so I don't need you to tell me nothing else. But what I need to tell you is you need to get some self-care days for Bay, okay? Because that is some laborious work.
Is that bad?
It's not bad. It's just the kids.
What?
The kids are going through things.
What
so
you mean it's not bad? Would your
overseers are gonna?
Would your base say it's not bad if she was here right now?
No, she has to deal with it.
Would she say it's not bad?
No, it's
to him it's not bad, but to her,
what's not bad to you?
Me in person, I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just natural.
What's not a bad thing?
It's like being a doctor. You see, you see trauma all the time, but I mean that's just what you do. You work with trauma.
It's very male dominant approach to that.
Seriously. So like
seriously, it's laborious and it doesn't get easier. It's not easy. It is not. It's I don't want to say bad, but I want to say that it's a very painful thing, especially when I'm sure as a social worker, she's trying to make better things happen and in very many different ways that actually don't have anything to do with the kids. It's hindering her from actually being able to do her job at the best of her capacity. So that's bad.
No, I don't understand the whole capacity of it. But you're right. There is like constraints on what you can and can't do and stuff like that.
Bigger than constraints, because the thing about it is, and you see this in nonprofit, and you see it in any type of civic social duties, from government down to social workers. This language of wanting to help humanity or wanting to help people, but then these phantom actions or these people who are hindering you from doing what the mission is said to be done. So it makes the people that are really invested in making a change in the world go through it in a way that they shouldn't need to really actually make.
No, I get it.
So things better.
The turnover is high.
So you're saying that the social workers have one of their hands handcuffed behind the back.
Social workers are like teachers. Are like, yeah. Are like, I mean, I could go up to the list, right? All the way up to a president. They're all.
It's a job.
It's they're not allowed. They're not freed enough to really make.
You was about to say
big
puppets.
I was gonna say puppets, but I don't always think it comes down to being a puppet. That's why I didn't say it, because I think sometimes it comes down to just being crippled. That you actually can't do it, right? Like you don't have the resources.
Sure.
Right? Like teachers don't have the money in their budget, and then they don't get paid enough either to even be able to buy shit on their own to be able to do what they want to do. So it's like a crippling effect.
Sure. How do you feel about the trying to give teachers the guns down in class?
Next question.
Too much?
The whole thing with police presence in schools and guns in schools is a really idiotic thing to me across the board. I don't understand how we've not even changed the structure and the space and the atmosphere of schools, yet we want to bring in guns. Like yo, you don't, what are you even doing? You've not even changed the curriculum, a damn book integration. Like you've not, but you want to add a gun in for what? You've not even exhausted the opportunities to bring in more counselors. You got rid of counselors, like restorative justice professionals. You don't even have those. You don't even have a proper budget for mental health. Your teachers are going through it, and you're going to give their asses guns? That doesn't make sense to me. Or even having, now I know it's a government mandate for them to have the police in schools, right? But that's still dumb. For what? If you help these people, if you help young people and teachers and everyone get their mental health together and actually pay them what they're worth and bring kids into an atmosphere that is an atmosphere that they can thrive in, then you will not need guns.
So, yeah.
You don't need guns now anyways, but you would not, I don't even,
You're a mental health advocate, so that's something that's important to you for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely, because I've had to work on my own mental health on my own before mental health was even being talked about. And just seeing how much it's done for me, I understand its value.
So what are the different like exercises that helps you and probably can help somebody else going through it?
The only exercise that will help you in mental health is practice. That is it. And practice is a variation of things, right? Just like when you go into basketball practice, is your coach only having you shoot? No. There is a list of exercises that you need to do, but you need to be at practice. You need to do that. So
practice makes perfect.
Then there's no such thing as perfect. Practice makes
better players.
Better version of you.
Better versions of that's right. Better players, right? Because we're in the game of life.
And when did you start writing? When did you think you can?
Well, I started writing when I was young. I started writing poetry and journaling and things like that because I was, a young person going through a lot of things, and a young person who didn't use their voice. So I had to find a way to do something. So I wrote.
And do you think that's one of the exercises for your mental health?
Absolutely. In my book, I actually focus in on 9 things that I feel are most important.
You should have brought your book. I think about it.
Yeah, you had to tell me that on the air, man. I just said that in my head. I was like, damn, I in the front of my head. Yeah.
So what are 9 things, if you don't mind?
I'll tell you some. One of them is creating works of art. Because I believe that number one, efficacy is the most important thing when it comes to our youth and their betterment, and even adults as well. Raising your efficacy, meaning raising this part of you that makes you feel like you can do something. I always tell people, the efficacy in the school that has majority of Black and brown youth, queer youth, the efficacy is low. The efficacy in schools like these schools that have the school shootings, the efficacy is high. That right there is a big difference between what efficacy could do. Not that you need to go and somebody's school, right? No. But the fact that this kid thought to themselves they could do something about the fact that they're being bullied in school, or the fact that this teacher did whatever, and they're going to go ahead and get the strap and shoot some things up, shows that they have efficacy.
So you're basically saying like confidence.
The ability to do something about your circumstances.
Can you say kind of, instead of that, can you say privilege kind of?
What? No.
Because some people in that, like that, those type of schools feel like they have a higher privilege than certain people.
I'm going to say efficacy. You know why? Because privilege shows up in different ways. Okay? There's levels of privilege. There's one level of efficacy.
Okay.
You feel like you could do something about it, or you don't. You're the young kid in this Black and brown school who has a low, or this queer person that has a low efficacy, and you kill yourself. Right? You kill yourself because you feel like you can't do nothing in the world. This other person feels like they have efficacy, and they go and they're going to kill somebody else. This kid over here just continues the cycle that's been happening in their community and doesn't have any foresight, any type of insight, any type of anything to be able to break out of that. This person does. Privilege I feel like that's like it's
fancy term.
No, not fancy, but it just works differently. It's a different type of tool.
Okay. And how did you link up with Baller Alert? Like, how did you start doing the show?
Baller Alert. Make sure y'all go ahead and download the Baller Alert TV app right now so you can catch my show, The Alternative. Yeah. So, I mean, it's about relationships. People always wonder about, everything is relationships, right? So, a lot of my work is related to the arts, philanthropy, youth advocacy, mental health, right? Like those I always say is the 4 major pillars of what I do. And Ball Alert has a Ball Alert Foundation where they're providing programming for youth to help them realize other entry points into the entertainment business and or into careers of their choice. or careers that interest them. So let's say you love music or you love sports. Instead of thinking you want to try to become a music artist or a sports player, the Ball Alert Foundation would probably have brought to you this different perspective
of how to get into music.
Through A&R, perhaps, through accounting, perhaps. The Ball Alert Foundation, if you said you wanted to work with football players and stuff like that, they would give you the insight on how to approach it from a physical therapy or a managing point of view. Agent, correct.
That's interesting. Most people wouldn't realize like a blog or something like that would have.
Well, they're a media outlet.
But they have a persona. Like people have like a persona, what they think of when they think of Baller Alert, but they wouldn't think of like the.
What do you think they think?
Baller Alert, for the most part, is like talking about like
what's trending.
Yeah, what's trending
like,
and like gossip type of stuff.
Yeah,
for the most part, that's what we assume. But
right.
If you really like, you just broke down. They have different programs that actually benefit.
Yeah, I don't think the Shade Room have programs like that. I think about it.
No, and also the Shade Room didn't come before Ball Alert. Ball Alert really opened up and paved the way for a lot of. Shade Room is also not black owned, and Ball Alert no, and Ball Alert is.
Yeah, I thought it was ran by that
woman. Dope.
Yeah, Ball Alert is black owned media outlet that is not a gossip blog. It's a news outlet. It's like it's a news outlet. Like CNN would be a news outlet. A news outlet like I don't want to say Fox is trash, but whatever like that. Yeah. But it's a media outlet. It's telling you about what's happening. But the reason why people I feel like look at it like gossip and bloggy is because it's talking about our people. It's giving you news on our people, on people of color. And so now it all of a sudden has this type of stipulation on it when it's a media outlet.
Well, to me, I understand that, but like he said, certain people do look.
Yeah, perspective, like you said.
Like a person who doesn't really keep up with what's going on.
Uh-huh.
They see it and then they hear about it from wherever, and they're like, oh, this is one of the other.
Yeah.
Did not know it was ran by a woman too. Black woman on top of that.
That's
so
right.
Gotta give bigs up to that.
That's right. That's right. She was in Forbes for that.
Oh, okay. That's even better.
For the foundation.
Oh, okay. And she's
for the work
Miami, right? She's based in Miami, or?
Well, Baller Alert it's everywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's good. And what inspired you to write? How the hell did you? The book. What is it called?
You don't got the rest of the title there, bro?
How the hell did you do that?
There we go. Get it out. You gotta get on up now.
I'm done.
Yo, you just trying to dead give up in the middle of the damn title. How the hell the book you wrote?
I'm done.
You gonna put some respect on my title, man.
Put some respect on my name.
Oh my God, what was the question? Oh wait, I don't think I finished about Ball Alert though. So
go ahead.
So they have this organization. So I sit on several other boards for different things that is art and philanthropy related. And one of the people that sit on one of the boards that I sit on sits on the Ball Alert board. And they were like, hey, really love what you do, what you're talking about. I think you would be a great asset to the foundation. We'd love to talk to you. So I met up with them, with the founder and owner of Ball Alert and that person. And we talked super candidly. And that's what happened. So I'm on their board for the foundation, and The Alternative, the show that I have, was a show that I pitched to them to be in line with what the mission is for the Ball Alert Foundation, which is to share industries that are essentially, for me, also more lucrative than being a talent. Like, let's think about being more than a talent.
Creator.
That's right. And so that's what The Alternative does. I interview people who are self-made, and who are killing it in their work, and who's gonna give insight to not only young people but people who are adults who are trying to really sort out what the hell they want to do.
Yeah, I think everybody goes through that, especially when you get out of high school. You're like,
in college.
Yeah.
I got this 30-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? That are going through that right now still. Like, there's no age range on when you get clarity of your greatness. It happens when it happens.
What's the first thing people will say when they say how to be successful?
Yeah,
how to be successful.
What they say?
What's the first thing?
What is one of the what is probably the first thing people say is most? Huh?
Work hard.
Okay, in the top 5. Not work hard. They do say that.
Change your environment, your friends.
Boom. That right there. Change if you're around people, the people you're around are going to dictate. Your network equals your net worth.
Yeah, every billionaire I hear, they say if they could look at your friend and tell what's going to happen in your future, pretty much. Your surrounding, your environment.
Feel me?
I feel like we go through pockets, though. So, like, you might have a pocket where you're around certain people and you grow out of it.
That's fine.
So, I don't necessarily believe. I think there's a half.
What is there not to believe?
Because I'm
not sure. I think you should call it a lawyer or something.
That was what I was gonna be when I was younger.
I might want to hang out with them I might be hanging out with them for a month for whatever reason, and then do something different.
Okay.
Those are my guys. Like,
this is a typical guy.
Listen, nobody's trying to clip your wings. Okay, nobody's trying to tell you can't hang out with who you want to hang out with. Okay.
I'm saying there's pockets though, because I remember in high school I used to hang out with certain people, and then you just change your surroundings as your life changes. You feel me? That doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna fail because I'm with a certain. These my guys.
Imagine if you didn't change.
No,
imagine if you didn't change. Imagine.
But there's pockets.
What is this pocket you talking about? What is the pocket? There's pockets in the beat. Boom.
Pockets in life. So you may be going through something, and your life brings you to this specific space. And once your life changes, you're in a different space.
So space is a pocket.
Yeah.
A pocket is a space.
Basically.
Okay. All right. So I used to think something like that, and I realized that the people I was around with was not pushing me. Like I felt like I wasn't evolving because all they were doing is smoking. First of all, I don't smoke, and they're talking about nonsense. First of all, I'm trying to better myself and do something in my future. So I kind of I just went different paths than them, and while they're still as I look back, I'm like, dang, they're still in the same spot.
And so that's what the point is: be around people that's gonna make you better. But what I was actually going for more specifically is be around people who are where you want to be. Okay, and so that is what a mentor is. That can be your first introduction to that. Your mentor can be the introduction to being around a person that is where you want to be, and then beginning to learn from them, observe from them. I bet it wasn't until you was around a mentor that even made you think of for you to pay for somebody's things, right? Like pay for a dinner. Your first business meeting, when that person says, oh no, I got it, and pays for it. I'm pretty sure down the line in the business meeting that you start yourself, when that person tries to pay, you're like, oh wait, no, I got it. Because you understand that's a part of the ethic. You would not have been able to realize how that moves.
Shit, I was shocked when the guy said, let's meet up for a business meeting, and he said, he named the restaurant. I said, restaurant? I'm used to meeting up in like couches, people at homes and stuff like that.
See what
so
I'm saying?
when he said that to me, I was like, "That is a different world."
See what I'm saying? And if you're not around people who are doing what you want to do or where you want to be, you will not have exposure to that.
It becomes foreign to you, pretty much.
I agree with that.
So, gotta keep that pocket.
No, but
you gotta keep that pocket.
People's life changes. So
that's your assumption. That's an assumption that people's life changes.
I'm
in the hood who all the family suffers from the same kind of diseases because the same food is given to them, only made available to them. They live in food deserts. They have gas stations in their areas, put there, pumping fumes into their air on top of only providing honey buns and sunflower seeds. You cannot change if you stay in the same environment.
I'm not saying you have to stay in it, but I'm saying you.
No. I'm not saying you're not saying that. What I'm saying to you is that you're saying that change is inevitable. Like you're gonna have to change. And what I'm saying to you is, if you stay in the same environment, you will not have to change. You will not have to.
I mean, people do it all the time.
People do it all the time.
Let me bring up the Jay-Z story. So the Jay-Z story, he's selling drugs. He's actually making a lot of money, and he's in that space.
The Jay-Z story, the Rick Ross story, the Freeway story. Freeway Rick Ross, he might be, but
that's what I'm saying. So like you're in that space. That's just you. What these people that are doing that. At some point, you get exposed. Like you said, you feel like you need to grow, and you might be in a different space. But you can't say just because he was doing that, he's never gonna win at some point. You feel me?
I didn't say
no. She's not saying that. But
no, I'm not saying that.
If you want to do a,
what I'm saying is he sold drugs, and then he was hanging with drug dealers, and then he met a CEO, and then he started hanging with the CEO.
And then he realized there's another level to it, pretty much.
And then that CEO, he was hanging out with a CEO that was making $200,000 when he was $100,000 when he was making $50,000, and then he went from that to Warren Buffett. Now you're not even talking to even the CEO that you used to talk.
He kept a lot of people on his team, though.
That's not my point.
No, I get what you're saying. But
yeah, my point is you level up. You get around people that's gonna inspire you and teach you how to get more and be more.
Since you want to talk about Jay-Z and rappers, you might as well just say Meek Mills. Look at Meek Mills. He leveled up pretty much. Came out of jail.
Came out.
Exactly. Went with the Philadelphia owner.
Shifted.
Jay-Z. Now everything's like he just leveled up, and now his case just got thrown out. Like it's different.
Oh, did it get thrown out?
So just
are
different
you a
levels.
feminist? I feel a little bit of like this woman.
Why? Because I've not said anything about women as of yet.
So you took a shot at some
women.
men. You took.
I love you.
You took a shot at men.
Did I take a shot out? Yeah. Did I take a shot out?
When you say, "Oh, that's something a man would say," I'm like,
could that not be observation and just like facts? So a man wouldn't say, "Oh, your net worth determines your net worth." Some black man, okay, speaking in front of a school, in front of a dry erase board, probably made that up.
How sharp did I play?
I'm just saying there's just certain things.
So you're not a feminist?
Let's not sugarcoat it.
What's a feminist?
What's a feminist? I have no clue. Well, I don't have enough.
You don't have an exact definition to it, but from your perception.
Define it, but from what I perceive is feminists who's like women empowerment, and they wanna. It's almost like.
I'm a humanist. That's what I'm gonna say.
It's like
I'm gonna
competing with men kind of thing.
And that sounds like competing with men. Women have never been competing with men.
That's what I think the definition is. One thing I don't probably have the.
Oh, that's what you think the definition is.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you don't think that that's what it actually is.
That's what I think it is.
That's what you think it is as well as the definition that a woman competing with a man. Yeah, no. See, and that's the problematic part.
Isn't it equal between like
you googling it and reading it and asking me if it's it?
Yeah. So,
yeah, it's kind of what.
No,
it's the opposite.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
it is not what you said. You see, and that's why I say that's the problematic part of that thought.
Because you're making it seem like it's only towards guys.
What else would it be?
It just says right there to you, bro. It's like, you trying to like.
It's about equity. It's about equity. I don't want to talk about feminism. What I'm gonna say though is, it's not a competition, and when people start thinking about it being a competition, that's when you start to have a winner and a loser. This is not about winning and losing, especially because women are always at the bottom of the barrel, especially black women. So this is about respecting women being able to be and do and say and however they want without a male feeling like they are being challenged or competed against and doing something about that to hold them down. And that's what's been happening throughout time.
You don't think it's
been men's feet on women's necks.
You don't think it's trying to change now? Like,
sorry?
You don't think it's starting to change now? Like the narrative between like that?
He just said that he felt like feminism was a competition between men and women. So that obviously shows that there's not a change in the male.
Yeah,
but I don't think that's a bad thing though. I don't think my perception of it was a bad. It's not a negative connotation towards feminism.
It's a negative relationship.
I don't think so.
A competition between a male, if you're saying competition between a male and a female, a woman and a man, these binaries are so stupid anyways.
But whenever there's
like a competition,
I'm not saying it should or should. I'm saying whenever I see like a movement or something, it's always like adversarial towards the man.
But if somebody has their hand around your neck, their foot on your neck, their fingers on pens that's to write away your rights, do you not think that person, it may seem like that you are an adversary?
That's competition.
That's not a competition. That's a fight for freedom. That's liberation. That's what that's about.
But I wasn't far off. You acted like I'm just like...
No, you are far off because it's not about a competition. It's about a relinquishing of the power that men want to have over women's bodies, thoughts, and operation.
I understand that, but it's definitely like...
It's not a competition.
It's not... When I say competition, it's more like it's one going against the other. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. We're not going against you. We're telling you, leave me alone. That's what we're saying. We're saying, leave us the fuck alone. Let us be who we are.
I hear you. And I'll take your response because obviously you've gone through it. I'm just telling you. What's so funny?
Because you are funny. You said I'm gonna take what you said. I'm gonna
like it's an honor or something. It's the way you say it.
Yeah, it's the way I'm saying.
I'm going to defer to you because I just told you I don't know the definition, and I'm going to defer to you because obviously you know what you're talking about.
So when you see that a woman is saying my body, my rights, what does that make you feel?
My body, my rights. Like I said,
how does it make you feel?
I don't feel anything because at the end of the day,
why?
I have to defer to that person. That's just the bottom line. I can't have an opinion. I just have to go off of what you say. Like if a girl says she wants to do an abortion, or if a girl says she doesn't want to do an abortion, I cannot have a feeling. I cannot have an opinion. Like I can have an opinion to myself, but I don't have the right to influence off of that opinion. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you?
It does, but it's just showing me again that it exists and why it exists. Because again, it's still what you're saying. Still is about allowance. Except it's coming off as about allowance. You're not saying I support you.
No, I definitely support.
No. You said I don't care about it.
No,
I might have my opinion.
I didn't say I didn't care about it. I said I have to defer to the person who's actually going through the issues.
Tell me what you mean by this.
If an Indian says this is offensive, if a Native American says this is offensive, I can't say it's offensive or it's not offensive. I have to say this person thinks it's offensive, and I have to defer to this person. It's up to this person.
Let me ask you this. Because I think that these examples that you're giving is showing it to be a personal thing, and I'm asking you from a human standpoint. I'm asking you, when you see women's rights being taken away, what do you feel? That's what I'm asking you. You say I don't feel nothing. That's a problem, in my opinion. You should say this is not cool. This is fucked up. What can I do to help these women in any way that I can? Because this is not right.
Well, like I said, I don't have enough information, so I can't.
What?
I don't have enough information.
What enough information? What more information do you need to hear that another human being's rights is being taken away from them? For you to step up, you needed to be your mother. You need to be your sister. You need to be your daughter.
I know there's marginalization.
Your wife.
But if I'm going to be involved in something, I have to obviously do my homework and understand the nuances of what's going on.
I'm trying not to laugh, but this fool is laughing.
No,
but because Because your mindset though is
No,
why
it's not a bad mindset. I don't think it's a bad mindset.
Your mindset though is not pushing the betterment of humanity forward.
I disagree. I don't think so.
Your mindset is deferrative. I don't even know if that's a word, but
Yeah,
you said
that's
defer
okay,
so much.
though.
That's not okay because it lacks action.
No, I will do action once I do the necessary work. You can't allow media to program you. Just because you say something, okay, she said it. That's something to think about. Now it's my turn to do the actual work to get behind it. I'm not gonna get behind it just because.
So what's the latest? What movements have you gotten behind as of late?
I haven't got behind anything.
Okay, in the last 20 years, what have you gotten behind? So there's nothing in the world that has happened in the last 20 years that you feel like deserved your energy to help and support.
Honestly, no.
We living in a popping world, huh? Our world is lit.
It's true.
Our world is lit. Our world is lit. Our world is lit. Our world is lit.
But I'm being honest though.
Our world is that popping that you don't even
I haven't got behind anything. But that's just the truth. I haven't.
I know, but what I'm trying to say is that's problematic. That's a problem that you don't feel that you need to do anything to help humanity.
I plan to at some point.
What you studying right now? Because you said you got to do your due diligence. What are you planning on supporting?
Right now, I want to support like young black youth. That's something I'm working towards, but I haven't got behind anything. I'm not a coach. I'm not a.
What about young black youth?
Like the like kids that grow up not having the tools to go to school, or bullying, or not having the clothes. I understand that because I went through it. I haven't got behind it. I would be a liar if I told you I was, but that's something I understand. You know
so it has to be something. I mean, a lot of people move like that. Their empathy lies only
behind something I don't understand. Somebody who tells you they are or supports you on Instagram is not a real supporter.
But what I'm saying is
if they do a hashtag they're supporting, no, that's not real support.
What I'm saying is there's a lot of real shit that's popping in our world.
I agree with you.
And every idle moment is a win for the opposition.
I agree with you. And like I said,
talking about police, ops.
All of them.
And there's
anybody that's got any entity being that has a body part and using their body parts as an oppressive tool. They the ops. You the op. You the op if you got a foot, a hand, or anything on a neck or body part of a marginalized person.
No, I agree with you. But like I said, there's a whole bunch of issues to get behind. You understand what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you just got to pick where you understand it and where you can make a real impact, and then that's what you would do. There's 100 things. There's many things to get behind. I could probably say you need to get behind a certain amount of things. Like, okay,
I'm behind enough, baby.
Okay, that's
you
my
can't
point.
say I could be behind.
I'm not saying you are or not, but I'm saying there's things that you probably don't understand, and if you probably did the homework, you would probably get behind it.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everybody's different. The reason why I was laughing so hard is because I used to think just like that, and I just grew over time and realized.
What do you think now?
I think exactly how she was thinking. Right there, I said you messed up when you started answering like that. I was like, you messed up already, because.
How does she think?
What do you mean?
He's trying to see what's the difference between the way he thinks and I think. But you should already see the difference between the way we think because we obviously don't think the same.
Yeah, no, I know we don't think the same, but he's saying he thinks like
the way you were talking. You're pretty much like you pretty much made her point like about men. I guess because at first I was trying to say no, but I understand what you're saying that most men, majority. You're not saying all men, but you're saying majority of the men population feel like. I guess you feel like we're stepping on your neck or holding you down. I guess women, not just you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, women in general. Women feel like we always been because the way we were raised up was women stay home, men do all the work. They just do the clean the house, take care of the kids, and that's it.
You were raised like that?
Well,
how old are you?
I'm 25.
You were not raised like that.
Well, my mom she worked, but most of the time, me growing up, she was home taking care of us and cleaning the house. My dad just worked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was raised like that.
Oh,
you was
okay.
raised like that too, or no?
But I don't think that's her point. I don't think that's what we were talking about.
No, this is just a sidebar. It's a pocket.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Practice.
Oh God. But yeah,
and then what shifted for you? Yeah.
Yeah, I was raised with females. Like, I have 2 sisters. I have 1 little brother, but I have an older sister, and then I have a sister that's like 2 years older than me. So, and I have a mother. So, and then I have a girlfriend on top of that. That she's not a feminist, but she don't take no shit from nobody either.
Right.
So she used to because I used to be like anti-gay, anti-this. I had a certain way.
Oh wow.
I used to have a certain way of thinking.
Yeah.
And she kind of like drilled in my head, and like I seen a different point of view. Like I didn't see that point of view. And what I realized is it doesn't matter about what I think or how I feel. If that person feels less of that person, or that person feels less of a human being because of how we're treating them or how we making them feel, like I shouldn't be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So what made me feel is like I felt like the reason why people act like this is lack of knowledge.
And openness, because I think that now living in this age, I feel like knowledge is at our fingertips. So the knowledge aspect is something that you have to search for.
That's true, and you're right, openness, because first of all, you have to open up the door to receive the knowledge first.
Because when you open, then people will come into your life.
And my door been closed for a while since.
Yeah.
So my doors went open about 3-4 years ago. As I started learning more about it, I'm like, wow, they go through this?
Right.
Dang, I didn't know it was that serious. People killing them?
Right.
Like, wow, this is crazy.
Trans black women are at the highest.
On top of that, they're black. You're already getting targeted because you're black, and now you're trans too.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on Netflix. I got to go therapy too. My therapist was like, "Go check this show out." I'm watching the show.
What show?
I can't think of the name right now.
What is it about?
It's about queers, transgenders.
Post?
She did tell me to watch it, but I don't know if that was
No,
the
it's
one.
not that one. Oh.
It was about a woman. She's a trans, and she has like a whole family of people in there. It's her birthday, and she's old.
Oh.
And she's talking about it. I'm gonna text it to you later.
Yeah. Let me know, because I'm down to peep that.
Yeah, and then there was another one. I think it was Post. What's the Post where they're breaking down how this been going on for years, like before we was born. Like there been had transgenders and people were killing them and stuff like that. I was like, this got a history to it, but nobody.
No, that's not Pose. That's not Pose. But okay, so you were watching seems like more documentary based joints. Okay, I'm gonna have to look this up.
I'm looking at it like,
yeah,
this have history to it, and nobody's talking about this. And I was like, I have no knowledge of this. I was like, wow, this is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting here watching this stuff, and I was like, damn. Our environment is changing. You see more kissing, gay people are kissing now on TV.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Empire.
Empire.
Yeah, Empire. You see more of that going on, and I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. The world we're going into now. But I have no problem with it now because now people are more open. Well, compared to back in the day, I feel like people are more open now. We still have, I guess you can say, the door is still kind of like semi-closed.
Yeah, at the end of the day, there's been so much covering up of people that highly impact the social fabric of this world. And queer people overall in every single industry is an asset, is a builder of those things.
Explain the definition of queer too, because I did not know what queer was. I had to do my research.
Queer is all encompassing. It's all encompassing of not only of these identities in the LGBTQ spectrum, but honestly in people across the board. Queer is everything. So, and even if I would want to say that I'm a lesbian, saying I'm queer is, for me, it's just a more freeing term that allows me to be who I am in all the facets, period.
So queer is
all encompassing.
One is just all. We're all together. Okay. All right, and I do want to do, because this is one of my goals that with this podcast I want to do is I want to interview I want to interview each people like gays, transgenders, to tell them people like educate people about their stories and stuff like that. Because a lot of people don't know what's like what's going on, like what they go through and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're supposed to have an interview with a transgender, but that person I got.
So when you're using the terminology, you can say first you can use their name, right?
I didn't want to say it because I don't know if they want me to say their name or not.
Well, they're gonna be interviewed,
well,
right?
We don't know yet because
okay.
Covering.
So trans woman or trans male.
Okay.
Whichever one they are.
Prefer.
Yeah. There's also like gender queer. You know, this just yeah. So, or non-binary, like all these
So I want to do an interview with that, and a lot of people is like, you're about to get a lot of backlash from this. Certain people are going to be like, I don't want to watch this because of this and that. And I'm like, I don't care what people think. I'm here to like educate people or open your mind.
Culture. You talk about and if you really want to be real about this joint, like even just being black is queer. You know what I'm saying? Look at Jimi Hendrix, Prince. These are queer identifying folks. If you look at them, that's queer. The fact that Prince wore heels and identified his pronouns were he, him, but he wore heels, which is very different than the gender norms or what it looks like. And I think this play on the visual aspects is what's coming to the forefront more now. I think that people are really stuck on the binaries of what things look like. Meaning, boys wear blue, girls wear pink, boys wear pants, girls wear skirts. And that is not it. It's not this. This is not all that exists. It's this. And your toes. And your knees. And all of it that exists in the ways of identifying. In the way of presentation. Which is why you're seeing it more on television. Not because we live in a crazy world or not things are getting crazy. It's because representation matters. It's because people who feel comfortable in a crop top, flip-flops, harem pants, and a beanie, and may look like a male presented person but feel like a woman and want you to call them girl or her or she, doesn't mean there's anything different.
Don't mean they're less of a person either.
It means that that's what they look like, and that's what they want to look like, and that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you see
people are allowed to say who they are, and I think this is what the queer community and the LGBTQ community is starting to make people realize is okay, because we're no longer hiding. We're no longer saying conforming.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? I want to know his thoughts. I can see.
That up because I brought him up the interview, and he said he don't want to sit in the interview because the person's a transgender.
I didn't say that.
It's the way you said it, though.
A trans
woman.
I said I don't want to promote that. I want to promote business. So this podcast is for people who do business.
A trans person can't be a business owner?
No, but the person we're having doesn't really do anything. Except we're just going to talk about the fact that they identify a certain way. And that's not what we do the podcast for. We do the podcast for people who are promoting a business.
Well, when I asked earlier about what the podcast is about, okay.
He thinks that's what he wants to do, just business. I said I want to talk about everything that's involved with the culture.
So then, yeah. And when he said that earlier, you didn't interject.
But that isn't...
Because how can you just talk... Because the name says it itself. It can't just be about business. Like,
but this is a business. We're not... So if you're gonna...
All right, but look,
if you're gonna promote a transgender, then you have to promote...
Person.
Trans person, or man or whatever they prefer to be named. You have to keep that same energy for every other person that's not necessarily trying to promote anything. You know what I'm saying?
If it's a good topic that's evolving our culture, I think it should be worth it, in my opinion.
But that's not. We've never done that, and Why would we do that now?
So the girl that was at the school shooting, what business was she promoting?
She had stuff that she was promoting.
What she was promoting?
She was promoting her marches. She was promoting what she was wanting to do. She actually promoted one of the governors.
That's her business?
Yes, that's what she was doing.
No, the march is her business, her personal business.
She was a part of it.
It wasn't her business.
Exactly.
But she was a part of it. That's something she wanted to promote.
Mm-hmm.
And every time we do an event, I'm saying, why are we here? We're here to promote. Media is promotion. It's a marketing.
So maybe, so perhaps you should be looking into a trans person that has their own burlesque business or people that performers.
That's what I told him. Now when you say, oh, he doesn't want to do it because yes, I did.
You didn't say all that.
Yes,
It's the way
did.
you said it, Max.
First of all, how can I say something over text? I said, why are we doing this when he doesn't have anything to promote?
He,
she, whatever they want to be.
No, that's not it.
You see?
No, that's not
I'm
it.
just saying, I don't know who the person is.
So what you do know is that they're a trans woman.
They're trans. I don't know. I'm not sure which one it is.
He just said it.
Okay, whatever.
I sent you the profile too.
Whatever he said.
And I actually told him too.
So you're not open. So you're not open to trans folks.
It's not that I'm open or not open. I just
Well, because when I just even corrected you on their pronoun, you were just like he, she, whatever. Like it didn't
I said he, she, or whatever the person.
But look what you said. Whatever.
Yeah, you just
look
said
what you're saying, man. It's not what you. It's how you say it.
But I just told. But I corrected you,
Okay, so
and then you said that.
Okay, that's cool. That's not an issue. I don't spew hate. So at the end of the day,
Nobody said you were though, but look how you're. It's not what you. It's how you say things.
It seemed a little dismissive and uncomfortable, and that's okay if you're uncomfortable,
I
right?
don't think I'm dismissive or uncomfortable. I just
Really? So you think you're totally like all good in the hood right now?
Yeah, I think I'm fine with my perspective of it.
What is your perspective of it?
My perspective of it is, once again, if this person wants to do whatever they want to do, let them do it. Let them thrive in whatever field or whatever space they want to thrive in. I don't have an opinion about everything. Like, I really don't.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have an opinion about everything. If this person wants to, like, we had a dude that wears a dress. Like, he wore a dress last week. Okay.
No, correct it, because you're going to have people thinking that he wore a dress to the interview. He wore a dress.
No, he didn't wear a dress interview, but he wore a video. He did a video shoot. We asked him about it. He said he wanted to do it, and that was that. Why should I say, oh, that's dope, or oh, that's not dope? It doesn't matter to me.
Whoa.
I don't have an opinion.
Well.
We're just going to ask you if that's what you say. And then listen, once again, I defer to you. If that's what you want to do. That's totally
But, I mean, not for nothing, you are in media. This is interviewing. This is entertainment. This is under the realm of entertainment.
No, that's true.
And that is an opinion-based field, period.
No, which is true. But I also have the right to just allow you to speak your truth and me just listen.
Yeah.
And learn. And different perspectives. If this person wants to have a certain perspective, that's cool. Once again, it doesn't have an effect on my life. It doesn't really matter to me. I just hear what you're saying. That's cool. I bet.
This is an interesting. I want you to mark my words for this interview. You got a road ahead of you in learning some things.
Learning what?
I said some things.
Which things?
Yeah, things. A lot of things, but things in particular to things that are different than you.
I'm open to learning. I'm open to
understanding. I think theoretically and in your mind you would feel like you're open, but in your spirit and in your heart, I feel like you get rattled. You feel uncomfortable about things that are not normal to your world.
If it's uncomfortable, it's uncomfortable. You feel me? I get uncomfortable in a lot of different spaces. That doesn't mean.
But how do you push past that? Is what I'm talking about is how do you grow from that discomfort? Not how do you get discomfort. How do you experience discomfort and then retract and then come back when you're comfortable? It's about how do you push past that discomfort.
I don't think I have to though. Everybody gets uncomfortable.
See, but nobody should feel like they settle for anything. Like you got to be able to. Everybody evolves.
Okay.
So when you say you feel like you don't have to, that proves to me that you already have a problem. Right?
That proves also what I said earlier about people do have the choice not to change.
I don't have. I just change what though?
Perspective.
I do have a perspective. That's why I asked.
No,
I said
you say
change
that.
your perspective.
Well, from in my opinion, you in your head you saying that you think it's good, but your body's not doing that, bro.
Correct.
Your body and what you're saying, how you say things, is totally opposite of what you think in your mind right now.
Correct.
Because
That's
your body position right now is
energy to us.
Yeah, energy feels uncomfortable every time you bring up that conversation.
And
then how you say whatever and stuff like that.
Why? Why does it make you feel uncomfortable? That's what I'm interested in knowing.
It's different.
What about it?
That's
Speak
just
frank,
normal.
speak blunt, speak what?
When you talk about LGBT or whatever the case is, it's different for sure.
Let's stop using the word whatever because you're making it feel like it's not worth anything.
So can we stop being like super like defensive? Like
I'm not being defensive, but I understand what you're saying. You don't want to be picking apart every single word you say.
Relax.
I got you. But I want to know more. I want you to be really like open and frank about what is the discomfort about the gay community to you as a heterosexual male. I'm assuming.
Yeah, but is it far-fetched to just not like if it doesn't affect you? And that's in a lot of spaces. So like if certain things don't affect you.
What I'm gonna say is that even the words LGBT, trans has affected you because if you have discomfort, that's an effect.
Let me stop.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Hold on. You said it doesn't affect you. That's stuff shit white people say.
You said what?
Slavery.
No,
it doesn't affect me.
I hate when people bring up slavery
that's true.
versus LGBT.
So white people don't say that. White people haven't said, "Oh, I never looked at it like that. It doesn't affect me. I never noticed it like that."
Number one, racism is a lot different than LGBTQ.
No, it's not.
Alright, I'm not comparing it. First of all, and you can talk to us and see tell us why it's not. But what I'm saying is, what you just said was, it doesn't affect me. If stuff like that you shouldn't be making your decision because it doesn't affect you.
No, I don't have.
You as a human being, if that is bad, that is bad.
No, obviously, if somebody is being bullied, if somebody is being killed, that is wrong. But when you're asking me a general aspect of just the general, how do you feel? I don't feel it doesn't. I don't have a perspective of that. Like,
what I'm saying is, when we started talking about gay shit, you started to feel uncomfortable.
It makes me
why? That's what I want to know. I want to know why.
Because it's different.
What is different? That's what I'm trying to say. They're humans like you.
No, they
are. They have sex like you. They wear clothes like what?
Which is 100% true.
What is the difference? I'm trying to understand that.
It's different. Like I don't understand.
You don't understand
the person is different. Like. They have a thing that they like to do.
Like what? Like what?
They want to be with dudes.
Sex.
Yeah.
One thing.
Yeah.
So what?
But it doesn't affect me. Like if the person wants to sleep with a dude, cool.
So the idea of two men having sex and kissing is uncomfortable for you.
It is. That's true. It is uncomfortable.
So when you see it on TV, you turn it off. You don't want to look at it.
I don't look at it. It's weird to me. And I mean that's the truth.
And two women.
Two women, not so much.
Y'all niggas need some new material. Like y'all mad basic. Like duh, of course.
Yeah, that's not so much. But I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, it's not. I don't think it's.
So if a gay person needed help,
I would help them. I've worked.
They need help. How would you help them? How are you ready to help gay people?
If I were in a place and this person was gay, I would, and they needed help, or if they need money for whatever the case is, I'm not gonna not like if a homeless person is gay and a homeless person is not gay, I'm not gonna give money to this person. They gotta be
homeless. A lot of them are homeless, so fortunately for you have a lot of options.
I'm saying it in a sense so you can understand it. I'm not gonna give this to this person and not this person just because they're gay. You know what I'm saying? Or if this person needs a job and this person needs a job and this person does it better, I'm not gonna not give this.
What if this person needs a hug?
Hug? I would give them a hug. That's not an issue.
You don't mind
if
hugging
they
the gay
need
man?
A hug?
A hug. You don't
I
mind.
don't have an issue as long as they respect
What is there to disrespect? You see what I'm saying? This is what be
long-
so aggy. This is what be so aggy. What the? I said that if they need a hug, can you give it? The first thing you're gonna think is as long as they don't get disrespectful.
No, I'm not saying.
Do you understand that people
as
still?
long as they don't take it as a sign of, oh, I like.
You sound nuts. You sound nuts. And you know what? You know what? That's exactly how every single woman feels. That discomfort you feel about a gay man is exactly how every single woman in the world feels about every single heterosexual cisgender male.
And that's okay.
It's not okay.
It's okay.
That is not okay
If
for that discomfort and fear to be felt. Wait, let's just stop. No, I don't need another example. You think it's okay for women all over the world to feel uncomfortable and fearful because of somebody's sexual orientation?
It's not fearful though.
You said as long as they didn't disrespect. That sounds like a bit of fear to me.
No, as long
that sounds like concern.
As long as it's not like a thing where they're thinking that.
I want to bring it back again. You think it's okay for women to feel uncomfortable
if a girl
and fearful
gets a hug from a guy,
of cisgender males?
To hug a heterosexual? Is that what you're asking me?
I'm asking you, yes.
No, they shouldn't feel fearful.
Why?
But they should still have.
Why?
They should still have a guard. Like, if I don't like this guy, I don't want him to think of.
You should never hug them in the first
place. I don't like them.
No, it's not that I don't like them. It's just we're not.
But you see how and this is the problem with a lot of the way people treat the queer community because people over sexualize the queer community. So now it goes from a person, a human being needing a hug to I'll give you a hug, but you better not be disrespectful, which totally perverts the whole aspect of love and care that is associated with someone giving and someone needing a hug.
Which is true. I get what you're saying, but just like the woman in the men's perspective, she has a right to feel that way. She has a right to guard herself and say, "Listen, I'm going to give you a hug, but don't do anything past that."
Well, no, I wasn't saying that she doesn't have a right. What I'm saying is that one little moment that you're feeling with this gay man is how every single woman feels.
Which is
not okay.
Which I understand. I get it. If I have a daughter, I would want her to make sure she understands that
y'all ain't shit.
No, that's not true.
Oh, okay.
See, why are you?
I'm talking shit. I'm talking shit. I'm talking shit. But that is kind of like real too. You know what I mean?
Which is your opinion?
Which is proven.
I'm not gonna trash you for your opinion if you feel like that.
Well, because I'm not actually talking about
hate at the end of the day.
It's calling out.
No, that's spewing hate.
No.
That's spewing hate.
How is that spewing hate?
Say a dude is not shit just because he's a guy. That's spewing hate.
No, I'm talking about dudes ain't shit because of the shit they do.
No, because you're generalizing.
And that's why I say you say. It could be. You could call it a generalization, but it's not, my guy, because you can Google something right now. You can look on anywhere in the world and see men doing really
I could say that about females. I could say that about a lot of people.
No, not as much. I mean, let's just
see that. That's spewing hate. You have to admit that's spewing hate.
I'm not gonna admit that's spewing hate. I'm thinking that you're only.
So guys ain't shit, but when I say females ain't shit. No, that's not true.
We're talking about different contexts. You got to be more specific. I'm talking about the way a patriarchal world that we live in.
You can't generalize men, though.
The patriarchal world that we live in, the acts that men have shown against queers and women and people of color in history across the board has been shown, proven, and documented. So if my opinion, when every single thing I see all of my life is men doing terrible things to people, then I am allowed to feel that way. It's not feeling hate.
You may say them by name, but you can't generalize
I said
sex.
I said men. I said what I said.
No, I hear you, but now you.
And it's not spewing hate. It's a call out, and I would hope that men would do better.
No, that's spewing hate. I guess we're gonna agree to disagree, but that's. I think
that's unfortunate. That if I say that men are doing things that are harmful, that's considered that some men
spaces.
Okay,
but you
fine.
cannot generalize men. Period.
Okay.
There you go. We both learned something today.
What? I mean, I guess, but yeah, I think that again, there's a responsibility that, in a generalized way, men should take to make this world a better place.
Absolutely. I would say this though, men we promote the. Yeah, you just hit that girl. Yeah, that's good, and like we making like it's so good for us to knock a whole bunch of different girls, and like stuff like that. That's like locker room talk. But then the man get a daughter, he's telling them pretty much like, no, this guy ain't. No, I'm not gonna say ain't shit, but he's like, no, this guy's playing games. Be careful, trying to put the girl on game, the daughter on game. So I get what you're trying to say.
Well, I mean,
but
he just said it.
Yeah, he was trying to say is you can't generalize it. Pretty much.
I get it, but even when we came back to the hug thing, you said that a woman should have her guard up.
Absolutely.
With men.
Absolutely.
Generalized.
Absolutely.
What I said.
No, but a general female. When we're generalizing females, and we're gonna generalize, and it's like it's not a real thing. It's a man and a female in any situation. I don't care what situation. They should do that, and I think a man should too. And different. I
think like you wanting to zone in on a generalization is an avoidance of the actualizations.
No,
yeah, because of course everything is not all men. Because of course everything is not all men. But so you want to just nitpick at the fact that it's not all men. That's not the point. The point is majority rules.
I understand your point.
And so if you know that men could do better, take that. Take that.
I'm not gonna lie, I used to do that, and my therapist told me that's avoidance because what you said at the end.
I'm gonna be a therapist, but I didn't.
Because sometimes what you say, like I was saying earlier, you said this is your exact words. You said, I guess we both learned something. Like you was targeting that just because you're trying to prove your point, trying to make her feel like, okay.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah.
Yeah, like trying to make her feel like I got one on you and you got one on me. Like it's like competition for you by doing that.
It was a shot, but I mean, it was a shot, but it's.
But I need you to. But there, like you can take a shot, but like shoot a good shot.
That was a good shot.
That wasn't a good shot. That was a terrible shot.
That was a good shot.
I literally just came back around. Okay, and got another one on you with the generalization versus avoidance. Absolutely, I did.
Because I agree with you. Do I champion Serena Williams whenever she's, you feel me, talking about, oh, this person could do it but we can't, or WNBA players or soccer players? Yeah. At the end of the day, I understand the
champion. What are we talking about?
Like putting the women on a pedestal, I guess.
You're talking about a goddamn athlete.
Yeah.
You're not talking about all women who are like oppressed and not saying that Serena is not.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you guys are. I'm using this as an example of a person who is doing the work, the actual work. And like I said, I champion this person because they believe in something, and I believe that it's a real thing. And they're bringing what's the word? They're bringing it to the light. They're making awareness to what you're talking about. So, like I said, that's somebody you should promote, and that's somebody you should support because of their work they're doing.
A celebrity.
Does that make sense? Absolutely. Because if she wasn't doing it, you would definitely have an issue with it.
I think what she's trying to say is a celebrity's already high profile. You should be talking about somebody, not even a high profile person. I think she was like, you went from a celebrity to what we were talking about, gay people. And
what are you talking about, bro?
What I'm saying is, champion some shit that you could actually have an impact on.
You're right.
Champion some shit in your community.
That's
Champion some shit in the ways and places that are really gonna feel what you're doing. Don't jump on a bandwagon of somebody who already have millions of followers who can do that already. Like, they don't need you.
I'm not saying she needs me, but
No.
I understand it, and like I said, she's doing the work, so she needs to be supported. She's definitely.
There's so many people out here who's doing the work who need to be supported.
Which is the truth.
And if you're really trying to make an impact and put real energy somewhere, do your due diligence to find those people in your local communities that you can help and support and propel and push forward, who need your support.
I agree.
Venus could fund her own shit if she wanted to without $1 from 6 million followers.
I agree with you.
So then what is the point of your impact? What is the point of why focus in on somebody like that instead of somebody local? Hopefully after this talk today you will,
because they are doing good work. Like, even if they could do it by themselves or not, it's still something that's helping your cause at the end.
helping whose cause?
What you believe in. Does that make sense?
No,
Just like
I get what you're saying, but it doesn't make sense to me.
okay.
Like, I'm not confused. I just don't.
Okay, so, there's leaders in every community.
Who's your leaders in your community?
My community,
You don't know.
I don't necessarily.
And I'm pretty sure there's somebody.
No, there probably is, but I can't think of off the top of my head. But if there is, even on a small scale, I definitely show support.
You can't even name anybody, so
No, I can't.
they definitely don't have your support then.
No, you could show support innately without even knowing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
You could go to a black business and spend money, and that's support. And it's not something that's like
We got some work to do.
you're gonna.
We
like,
got some. What
remember-
other questions you got? What other questions you got? we got some
like
heavy
talking
lifting.
to a wall?
We got some heavy lifting over here with the big
Listen.
body bends. Okay.
At the end
All
of
right.
the day-
We got some. What's gonna happen at the end of the day?
It's okay to disagree. Like, at the end of the day, it's okay to disagree.
I think that we're talking about things that are much bigger than a disagreement.
Which is, like I said, if that's your opinion, that's all right. 100%.
Do more. Be better.
No, you're right. I should do more and be better.
That's it.
That's fine.
And there's a bigger picture though.
And I'll take that for sure. We can all do
And I support you. You can support me. I'm doing the work. I'm on the floor. I know folks that's on the floor. So you want to make your dollars really count, or your support really have an impact. We'll talk.
Absolutely.
You're not an enemy to me. You're a newfound ally.
That works. That works for me.
Gay ally.
That works for me. You got any more questions?
Yeah, I wanted to bring up. You said that the first thing people see is your hair, and then when they hear you talk, they're amazed. And I was.
I said that?
Yeah, some of you say that in like I think it was an interview or.
I gotta see. I don't know the context of that. Okay.
And I was looking at a Dapper Dan interview, and he was talking about how white people can wear a white plain T-shirt, and then people assume that they have everything together. But then if they see a black person with a same outfit on, they think that
they're a bum or something.
Yeah, they don't have nothing going for themselves. Like, what do you think about that?
This is America.
Donna Glover?
No, this is like America. This is what America is. That's an American thought because of the history and just the views of people of color in America up until then. I know that things are changing now, but I guess that this question is just really like for me.
People are racist. We get it.
I mean, that goes without, right? I don't want to be redundant. Like, these are things that we already know. I just think it's an irrelevant question for me. Like, because I don't care. Like, I don't. Yeah.
All right, let's go back to that last question. We was talking about your book. What inspired you to write it? Because I see that it's helping a lot of young people
And adults, actually. It's helping a whole lot of adults.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Way more than I ever would have thought it would. So how the hell did you do that? That's my guidebook, workbook, and memoir that I wrote for people who have been through traumatic childhood experiences and for those who are in the foster care system. Obviously, the foster care system, youth within the foster care system was my first focus because I was one. And then people were telling me I should write a book because actually the book was actually a means to an end. I actually wrote it because an elder told me if I wanted to be a motivational speaker that I needed to write a book to make myself an automatic professional in the field and on that topic. So I was like, all right, fine, I'll write a book. And so I actually wrote it in the summer of 2017. And I decided to focus in on 9 things that I needed when I was a young person. The first intention was to, one, not write too big of a book. Because I knew when I was younger, I would be intimidated by bigger books and I would not read it. So if I wanted to write a book that people were going to read, I needed to make it optically digestible. Then the next thing was to introduce whoever read the book to the chakras, the energy points in your body. So the book is actually is in color. So there's color within the book. And then 9 things only, which were the things that they could put into practice. Like I was saying, that practice is what you need to do. And so the 9 things in those chapters are the things that you practice. If you practice those things, you'll get into this place. It's focused on self-healing. It's focused on taking responsibility for your story then and now, because I believe that we chose to come to this world, to this earth, and with the experiences that we experience as children, we were meant to experience those things to take us to where we're supposed to be later on in life. So one of the chapters in particular is Picasso phase. So Picasso phase is 100% about the importance of creating physical works of art. You make something from the beginning, it raises your efficacy and makes you start to get excited and makes you want to create more. That's why people like, say, Everett Taylor, right? He calls himself a serial entrepreneur because he's created one business and then he was like, oh shoot, I could do another one of these, follow the same set, and then he created another, created. There's nothing different than creating works of art. When you make your first painting, and then by the time you've done your 20th painting, it turns out different and it looks better. And it's also worth more if you've done it right?
Masterpiece.
Correct. And also Picasso phase is titled Picasso phase because Picasso actually, when he was first starting off as a painter, would burn his paintings to keep himself warm because he was, out here living like a bum. He's a poor artist, and so he was burning his paintings to keep warm. And so that also is a testament to the sacrifices you have to make to get you where you want to be. There's another chapter I put in there called Why Do We Fall in Love? Which is about love, obviously, but it's more so focused on the importance of love and how love can actually heal you from these traumas if you approach it. But so Why Do We Fall in Love is literally chapter 8 because there's a lot more things you need to focus in on before you even think about, by the time you get to falling in love, you'll be healed enough to even be able to operate in that frequency in a less toxic way.
That's why people say you need to understand yourself before you get in a relationship.
Bang, bang, bang. Absolutely. The first chapter is called Presta Atención. And the chapter is in Spanish and it means pay attention. And I put it in Spanish so that people could pay extra attention to what this chapter means.
And I'm assuming there's a translation, right?
Yeah, pay attention.
No, I'm saying there's a translation to the... Oh, that's just the title.
That's just a chapter title.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just a chapter title. And a lot of times, and it's in another language because a lot of times the messages that we receive from the universe are not in a language that we speak. Right? Like anything. I believe in animal totems, right? So like even like a bee flying up to you. And if you look up animal totems for a bee, and they'll be like, if a bee visited you, this means that, things may be going a little bit too fast in your life and you might want to slow down or whatever that says. And then you reflect and you're like, yo, yeah, man, I've been going. All right, let me take a second. It's just the universe sending you a small message. But if you're not paying attention, you're just going to swat that bee out of your way and you're going to keep running yourself ragged and you've not received the message that you needed to benefit you.
Sometimes I feel like messages came to me in dreams sometimes.
That too, yeah. Word up. Yeah. I had a dream about keeping a tiger out of the house. Like I was like, and it was so crazy too, because in the dream, the tiger's claws was like coming through the door, and I was like pushing the door, like the tiger wasn't able to get in, right? But I could like feel in the dream the door pushing
You
too.
think that's a message? You know what
Yeah,
it is?
I looked it up, like a tiger trying to get into your. And it's so crazy. The internet is mad wild. Like you can literally look that joint up and
Yeah, it's like
you'll find things.
somebody went through the same thing. I'm assuming that's why they put it on there.
Or people, there are spirit healers, there are spirit guides, there are so many magical human beings that live on this earth who were sent here for us to learn, from them.
So you believe in prophets then?
I don't know about prophet. I believe in griots. I believe in earth angels. I believe in light workers. I believe in things like that. So presta atención, and so that chapter focuses on the power of your thought, paying attention to what you're thinking, because a lot of times what you're thinking is coming up around you. And then, so if you start to realize how powerful you are in that way, then you start to create some dope stuff in your world. You know what I'm saying? But you got to pay attention to the way you're thinking. An example that I always like to give is like that example of milk in a cup all the way up to the top, or a liquid in a cup. And the only thing you're thinking is don't drop it, don't drop it, don't drop it. Oh, you drop a spill, you drop a spill. That's because the thing that you were thinking about was to drop it. The universe don't understand. Don't drop it. I don't want to drop it. It understands drop it.
Because it's a negative connotation, so.
Because it's what you're asking for. If you said to yourself, instead of I don't want to drop this milk, if you said I'm gonna make it over there.
Do you have any new projects coming up?
Be like some celebrity ballers against him and his team.
Okay.
And it's gonna be in the pro court in the J Marriott. The J Marriott?
Or it's Miami, right?
Yeah, in Miami. And I'm gonna be on the mic.
1, 2,
I'm gonna be the commentator.
It's like a host or like the.
Yeah, I'm gonna be hosting, but doing the commentary. You know Rutgers, when they play in Rutgers and people's on the mic, that's me.
Okay.
That's gonna be me. I'm gonna be like, yeah, let's go. It's gonna be so much fun. I'm looking forward to it. So
you and Mercedes arms.
Right. Look at you. You're built like a truck. I'm gonna need you to move. Let's go.
I'm not gonna lie. You got the.
Yeah, it's gonna be lit.
It's gonna be lit. Yeah. So, like I said, it's a charity event, so we want people to come through, and I don't know all the logistics on it as of yet. Sorry.
You know what day?
Yes, August 24th. It's gonna go from 3 to 5. August 24th.
Where is it?
At the JW Marriott. So they can follow me. They can follow Sneaker Shootout. You'll be able to Sneaker Shootout Miami, and you'll be able to get all the info on the Eventbrite, how to RSVP, all that and all that. It's a back to school charity event.
Oh, okay, that's better. All right.
So what do you want to leave the people with as we wrap up?
As we wrap up, I want to leave the people with when you love yourself, you're going to just love the world even better. You're going to do even better. So just do better, be better. You know what I mean? Really invest in yourself. Buy the books, yo. Buy the ebooks, the audio books, whatever it is. Show up to the events. Build relationships. If you really want to thrive, understand you're not going to do it alone. It's not going to happen. You're going to always get to one point and be there. Get a squad, get a team, but don't be what is it? Cliquish. Get a squad, not a clique. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We have a new segment. It's called Between the Sheets. And
Between the Sheets.
You gotta take 5 questions. And you have to.
What?
You have to answer them truthfully.
I gotta answer them truthfully.
Yeah.
All right, let me bring my peoples up into this right here. I don't know what you're trying to have me do out here or whatever.
Want me to add it to the?
What's that? Oh, no. I'm gonna put it right here. All right. Sure. All right. Okay. So I'm at the Foot of Culture podcast. We just
You
finished.
gotta answer all of them. All 5.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I gotta answer all 5 of these questions?
Yeah.
They said it's called In Between the Sheets, y'all.
Between the Sheets.
Between the Sheets, y'all. All right, let's see. Hold on. Oh, What sexual activity do you consider totally off limits?
I don't know.
Nothing.
That's what I'm talking about.
What's the biggest dating disappointment you've ever experienced so far? Biggest dating disappointment. Dating disappointment? Like, are we talking like relationships or
relationship.
like an actual like relationship or a date, like dating?
Both.
All right, whatever. The biggest dating disappointment I've ever experienced was a broken heart. Does that count?
Broken heart.
That's
yeah.
easy.
I mean, what? I don't be really, contrary to popular belief, I don't be really out here dating that much, so I don't have like a bunch of dating disappointments.
Gotcha.
And I've only had like two. I've only had two
Real
relationships.
ones.
Yeah. What's you? Oh my god.
I can't turn it off now.
What's your favorite sex toy, hypothetically or experience? Glass dildos.
I'm not even gonna ask him what, why.
Glass
Let that ride.
dildos.
Yes. It will always stay firm, unlike you men.
Shots keep coming.
Gotta drink this one.
All right. How many people can someone sleep with before you secretly judge them for their number? I just don't be asking questions like that.
So
You don't care?
Nah, I don't want to know about who you loving, who you
So
want
if
to
they
be
tell
hugging,
you.
sipping on your ninja.
So if they tell you, I think I should tell you that I slept with like 20 people.
I'm more interested in your papers.
And how they perform.
Yeah, like I'm interested in like, are you all the TDs free?
True.
If you the TDs free, it's okay with me. If you TD free, it's okay with me. If you, it's okay. I'm really nervous about adding all this to this. I think I'm gonna add it to my close friends only. Oh, because my students be watching. I don't need my students to be like, she be having a
It's
glass
all good.
dildo.
Listen.
She be having a glass dildo. All right, let's see it.
You just skip that one right
No. Oh, I was.
there. Look
You
at
got-
you, Max.
You all in my business. My business.
She trying to hide that one. That was
I ain't even realize. Okay, hold on. What's the biggest lie you've ever told without getting caught? Oh, I don't lie. Easy.
You just lied.
No, I really.
You never lied in the past.
Biggest lie? No. You talking about between the sheets? No, I don't. No. I don't. I really don't lie. I believe in honesty. I just don't. I mean.
Come on. White lies count too. Nothing?
No.
Nada. Zilch.
No. Because even when I say, I love you, I love you. Even in that moment. Okay. What's the most disturbing? So y'all be out here lying like that?
I mean,
I know you be lying.
I could
I
probably
know you be lying. You probably be lying too. I'm
Oh,
just saying.
God.
What's the most disturbing fantasy or dream you've ever had? Oh, this one. Okay. So the most disturbing fantasy or dream I ever had was one that I had when it was mad years ago, and it was like I was at the bus stop in Queens by the Q5 bus that I used to take going home. In the dream, I wasn't living there. I wasn't even there, and I was trying to have sex while the world was like crumbling.
That's savage.
Like the concrete was breaking and all that. Like,
Bus? You were on the bus?
no, I was in the public space. I was like where people be waiting for the line on the bus. Like, yeah, I had to get.
Did you find out what that means?
And then she like,
Yo, this was so long ago that like Google and even Google and Dreams wasn't even the thing. But you know what? Now I'm about to.